what's really important about this is I'm guessing most of you are achievers, but if you're not an achiever, if you can understand the mindset that an achiever has, you will have a much easier time being able to understand them when you meet them, or when they're your boss, or when there's somebody you need to do business with. So there's 2 goals today, and one is always the same for me. It is to have fun, because the way people learn the best is to have some enjoyment while doing it. So if at any point you're like, oh my gosh, this is so horrible, it's so boring, please tell me, because that is not the goal. The next thing is that I really want this to be focused on you. I want you to have something that you spend your hour with me and it sort of impacts some of the other parts of your life. So if you're not getting something that you feel like you can take back and really apply to your life, we need to work on that. That is the biggest goal for me throughout this training today. And here are the expectations. I want to serve you. So I'll ask you a few times to let me know how you're doing, and it's very interactive, hopefully with some questions. And there's no right or wrong answers here. It's really sort of a discussion. And I'm not going to tell you what you need to do. But what I want to do is help you see that there's a lot of other things that you can do and sort of have those start floating in your mind. So we're going to create some awareness, because you don't know what you don't know. And hopefully you'll know a little bit more today. We're going to explore the challenges of an achiever, which most of us probably are here, and then look at how that impacts having a happiness mindset and serving your happiness. And again, it's not good or bad. And the reason I would say that is because I'm actually an achiever, and it's a big, big strength. It just sometimes, if you don't play with it a little bit, it can be a disservice to you if you get too tightly held into that belief pattern. And that's one of the things we're going to discuss today. We are going to discuss values and beliefs. I call them stories sometimes in here. And so what I'm hoping you all will agree to do is, if you get triggered, if you get ticked off, personally, I'm sort of happy if that happens, because that means that something's important enough to you that you have an emotional response to it. But what I want all of us to do, and I hope you'll agree, is when you get triggered, if you do, that you'll recognize it and say, I'm okay with that. It's an okay thing. And get back into the presentation as soon as you can and have a good mindset about, you know, I didn't really like that, but I want to get something from this, so I'm going to keep trying. Are we all okay with that? To go ahead and be triggered but come back? Thumbs up? Yay! Okay, you guys are a good set of people. I appreciate it. So here's how we're going to start. I want you just to glance through this list. These are typically ways that achievers think. So glance through it, and then we'll do a little feedback here. Have we had time to go through some of it? Yeah? So here's the question. How many of you only felt like, you know, a couple of these reflect who I am or how I think about myself? You want to raise your hand or put a thumbs up? That's you. Just a couple. Got one? Okay. Two? How many of you are, there's about half of these that I really resonate with. Yeah? And how many think, this is pretty much how I see the world? Okay. So we have a range here. This is awesome. What we're going to do throughout this is, if you're somewhat like some of these, or you have a lot of these, we're going to work with those ideas to make it where you can identify them, think about them for yourself, and decide if maybe there's something that serves you a little better. And if there isn't, then stick with what you already are if you want.